Hey everybody, it's Dr. Quinn here, and as we move into week 4, I wanted to do a quick review of the content within week 4. In your week 3 discussion, you actually had a chance to take a look at the upcoming writing assignment 4, which is the report to the supervisor. It's not due quite yet, but it's probably of all of the assignments, in addition to writing assignment 2, the most involved of your assignments. And so you get a sneak peek by looking at that. And I wanted to show you as well that if you go into your course home, you're going to see an announcement where I had just posted this on Saturday, but I did go over that. I wanted to compare some of your discussion responses to my thoughts on the assignment. And so I did record an overview of the Works and Suds report to the supervisor. So you should be able to see that there. Within week 4, you're going to find that you've got more information on these PARC concepts, this proximity, alignment, repetition, and contrast. This will help you with finishing off the quick start guide, because that's a one-page document. It's your next assignments. It should be a little bit simpler. I know it's harder and simpler at the same time. You're taking writing assignment 2's instructions and you're forgetting about the personas now and condensing everything to what are just the basics of the main process. So if it's a restaurant, what are the basics for ordering without worrying about any side quests, right? Within that one-page document, though, proximity of related items, alignment's really important for ease of document use. Repetition is good for pleasing design, and contrast is really important for readability. So you get a chance to look at this. You'll get a chance to look at APA information. APA is coming up in writing assignment 4. So those are the things that you'll see as far as learning resources are concerned. And there's not a heck of a lot of new material this week. In the discussions, we're going to talk about writing assignment 5. The idea is to let you think far ahead so you know how all the different types of assignments play together. You're working as an actual technical writer in writing assignments 1 through 3. You're working as a technical writer in writing assignment 4, where you are imagining a fairly needy audience, and you're providing technical explanation and instruction in a sense by making a report and an argument for some sort of action. Writing assignment 5 is coming up as well, and that's resume, cover letter, and PARC practice on materials of your own personal use that you may use into the world. So you're taking all these technical writer ideas and applying it to personal materials of your own that will hopefully give you a leg up in any sort of application process. Listen, we know that many students in class aren't actively applying for new positions, so don't worry about it. You don't have to use a current resume of your own, as long as you're at least practicing with the ideas and holding those concepts for the future. We know that many of our students are getting degrees to prepare for promotion and or to put themselves back on the job market. So we hope you could apply this to actual personal materials for that direct, immediate personal benefit. How does the class affect your personal life? Doesn't mean it's going to change any of the content in your resume and cover letter, but it may change how you approach the document's design, the document's phrasing and accessibility, the consistency of content, and how do you sell yourself in that cover letter. Okay, so we've got this information in discussion number 1 here that you get a chance to review as you look at writing assignment 5. It's just forward in the future, but you get a chance to listen to this part of the podcast, the unspoken skill gap in cybersecurity market. Many students are in cybersecurity. I mean, not all are, but this could even help business students, psych students imagine, humanities students even, some of the gaps there. We've got how to fill out common resume sections. I see so much variety when I look at student resumes here, even with faculty colleagues of mine who are applying for a different type of administration position. When I look at their resumes, I see a lot of variety, and doing some of the work now can make it so much easier for your applications later. So we'll be taking a look at different job search websites, and you'll find a position as a practice to build a cover letter and to refine your resume for. If you apply for it, great. You don't have to. That part's not part of the assignment coming up. And in addition to that, you've got a discussion for a memo for the report to the supervisor. That's a report you looked at a little bit last week. We're looking at it more this week. We're giving you some time to really think about what's coming up. A memo, I want you to imagine this memo like an email. You know, with an email, it's got, let me show you my email. Okay, so in this email, I just made it my email template. I just made it really big here. We've got the two, usually the from will automatically appear, subject, and normally a date will also automatically appear somewhere. It's even telling me right here that there's a particular time attached to my draft version. But to, from, date, and subject are things that are usually included in a memo. And to your boss, you could say, "Dear Mark," then in this memo, you're going to have a couple of brief notes. You can imagine a scenario in which you've already had a quick verbal discussion and you're saying something to the effect of, encloses the report that you and I spoke about with my recommended security updates for the business. I'd love to speak to you further after you review the report. Just let me know whenever you're available. That kind of thing. Sincerely, your name, right? So you'll look at some of the upcoming memo formatting information that we've already got set up in the system, and you will just build a short practice memo. The memo itself, I don't think, is more than like 100 or 150 words. So we're not looking at you to repeat the entirety of the report, but it's just practicing that sort of sticky tone of, I'm a new employee. This is my boss. I'm giving him information that he doesn't know. I could be the expert, but I'm also writing to my supervisor. So it's sort of navigating those types of spaces. And I tell students as well to think of this assignment as an email with the report attached. So the memo is short and sweet, and it's just a little bit of practice. We've got how to present bad news in a business memo, because trust me, that happens a lot. Because you are giving bad news. You're letting them know that there are some concerns with cybersecurity issues, with marketing, with job rotation, with whatever you've decided to focus on. And how do you sort of break that news in a way that is effective and that the audience gets the message? So that's what those discussions are about this week. In the assignments, the one assignment you've got is this quick start guide. So let's take a quick look at that. So in the quick start guide, I'm going to go in and I'm going to open it from my professor's perspective. And I'm just going to open the PDF. So inside this PDF of the assignment, your quick start guide is only a page long. And so what you have to determine is, how do you strip out all of those accommodations and how do you go just to the basics? I tell students, and I've got some samples that I will share separately this week. I have a sample quick start guide that's just super basic, and I built it myself, and it's just showing you, you don't have to have 50 images, and the images in a quick start guide don't have to be labeled. So this is now condensing that super long 10-page document into what are the basics that will allow somebody to still complete the main action. If it's ordering items from a store, it's the basic ordering of an item. If it's purchasing, checking out a library book, if it's purchasing a meal, that type of thing. If it's registering to vote, whatever your process ended up being. So note, your graphics do not need to be labeled. You are doing a one-page quick start guide from the set of instructions and writing assignment 2. So same website. You're not doing a brand new site. Okay. So we've got some sample quick start guides in week 3 of our class, and in the feedback and in the announcements from there. Those quick start guides are much more in depth. They're more than a page, because if it's about an HP printer, there's so many different features, but there are little quick start steps for, you know, basically how do you plug it in and turn it on? How do you sync it up with your computer and so on and so forth? So take a look at this assignment. You'll have a brief overview, you'll have a title, and you'll have step-by-step instructions. Graphics will be screen captures just like before. Okay, and of course they can be partial screen captures. They don't have to be the entirety of the screen. And one of the important aspects of this assignment is, how is this assignment going to be graded? So let's take a look at that rubric. So I'm on like the little short version of this rubric, but you'll see that it introduces the instructions. Did you do it? Is the document one page? That's 10% of your assignment value. So you don't need a covered page. You don't need a references page for this one. Are your graphics clear, aligned, and original? If one graphic's centered, one's on the far left, one's kind of floating to the right, you could get marked down. My recommendation would be, for this assignment, for the quick start guide, you should probably save it as a PDF And in that way, it saves as a static image. Then you check it to make sure images didn't pop to page 2. And that will allow you to nail that aspect of it, the one page and the graphics. That the list of steps, you're going to have some basic steps here, that they begin with an imperative verb, and that your steps are numbered. You'd be amazed. Sometimes steps aren't numbered. Language choices. Is it just, if you're writing, even if your steps are in full sentences, are you using periods? Are you capitalizing the first letter of a sentence? Like, you spelling the name of the business correctly and properly capitalizing the name of the business, the basic things. And document design. Are you thinking about part concepts? Okay, so as a matter of fact, if you made it one page, that's actually 20% of the assignment value. I forgot how much this was worth. That's 20%. So that's a big deal. So if you have any questions, we can go over that in more detail and be on the lookout for an announcement with a sample of the Quick Start Guides. I wish you luck this week. Reach out if you have questions.